Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Fran Man here, and today I figured I'd give you guys a little layout update. It's been a while since I posted here, and that's because we've been hard at work here in the basement, trying to make a nice new table and clean up this whole basement as it is. So I figured I'd do a layout update, which is something I haven't done in years. Most of my layout updates are on my other channel, but I decided to make a new channel just for train content, so that's what this is. There no longer will be train content on my old channel. That's sticking with the Halloween theme and season. So I figured one of the ways to inaugurate this new channel, besides uploading a lot of train videos like I was, is to show off a layout update that I haven't done in a very long time. So in case you can't tell by looking at it, this is a totally new and totally different train table than the one that's been shown previously. It's being completely redone. This is a whole brand new table. Me and my buddy built this. The problem with the old table was it was haphazardly slapped together with wood that was found and some wood that was purchased. It was originally just an L shape that went against this wall, and then it was filled in here to make it a full square, but nothing ever fully lined up with each other. It was never built to be a full square, so nothing, everything was uneven. The wood was uneven. The tracks were warping to follow the wood, but this table is as it's designed, as it's built. Everything here is intentional. We've got this little section here that comes out now that didn't exist before. And I think it really adds more action to the table to be able to have a yard area, a designated yard area off to the side instead of having to put it in the middle where I want to put my town. So anyways, some of the stats, I guess, on this table off the top of my head, I believe it's just a little bit over 8 feet this way because we extended out a little bit further than originally planned. And I believe it's about 111 inches that way, something like that. At least the square is, and then there's the extra bit here that comes out for the yard area. Right now we only have one loop on it, but there is going to be an inside loop. There's going to be 2 loops of track. This is 072 curves on this, obviously Lionel Fast Track. We're going to have 4 connection points on each loop. Pretty much the first corner piece of every loop, or 2 pieces in, depending on where we put it, is where there's a power connection so that there's good continuity throughout the whole loop. It's going to be the same for the inside loop. There's going to be 4 connections, usually in each corner. And then the yard will have a connection at the end of each line. You can see it's kind of haphazardly slapped together, the electrical right now, with some jumper cables to make things work, including this locomotive back shops, which is new to the layout. Never had that before. In fact, there's a lot that's new to this layout. It might not even be recognizable to the old layout I used to have. It's not even just the layout, it's the collection. As you can see, we've built shelves into the table for storage for locomotives and rolling stock. However, this was definitely not enough. We thought it would be. I have to keep this shelf down here, which I was hoping to get rid of just to fit freight stock, because there is not enough room on this table for it. But it still fits all the locomotives, which is what I wanted it to do. And the way it's done is there's no track. It's these 2x4s, we cut grooves into them for the flanges of the wheels to sit in. Problem is these, and when we screwed these in, it pulled the wood together a little bit. So now some of these locomotives don't fit perfectly in here. So we got to take off all these shelves and put it through the router table again, probably with just a bigger bit on one of these sides to open them up a little. So that's something we're going to do. We're going to work on. Down there is just a test track that I have. So yeah, this layout, we've been working on it for a little while. Pretty much every weekend on Sunday, we've been doing small things to it. I would show you underneath the table to show you the wiring and everything, but right now, the bottom of this table is completely filled, literally to the brim, with stuff. This is all Lionel and remote control cars and stuff underneath here. You can see there's the power strip I got down here. It's a ridged one. And you can see the, actually I should keep that flashlight on. Got an old post-war ZW powering the layout. It's a little dusty right now from, sawdust and cutting and everything we've got going on down here. But, yeah, this thing puts out 275 watts. And for the size of this layout, I believe that that's just fine. I don't think I really need, 180 watts per loop plus another 100 and something watts for accessories. I think that this works out just fine. This has already been upgraded too. It's been opened, it's got a new cord on it, and it's probably had a few other things done to it when it was opened. So we got the Legacy remote. That's technically new. I mean, I've had it for a while, but it hasn't been in a layout update. We're now running the Legacy system. I'm still going to have TMCC hooked into this though, so I can use both remotes back and forth, since getting the expansion Legacy set now is pretty much impossible without paying a ridiculously high price, and I'm not paying $800 for a dummy remote pretty much that needs to piggyback off of this one. Down there is an MTH starter set adapter. That's going to be used to power the locomotive shop on its own completely. It's going to have its own separate power source. Because this thing does use quite a bit of power, and I don't want to wire it into track. I'd like to just get it its own clean, fresh power straight from a source. So that's going to have its very own, power supply. And as far as I can tell right now, from last time I checked, this ZW and that power supply are phased together properly. But I'm going to check that again before I start hooking the Legacy ground up to everything. Here's the back shops. This is also new. I never had this before. I picked this up a couple days ago, and it works fully right now. It does have this is the original design, not with the updated motherboard or updated smoke unit funnel. I'm not going to mess with the smoke unit funnel. I don't think it's necessary because I know where to put the smoke to make it smoke. But I did go in here. For one, I did order a motherboard, so I'm going to try to switch that out at some point. But as you can see in here, it's a lot brighter than it would have been. This has USB LED strips in it, which is really cool because, you can actually see in there. And this does work. The machinery moves. It makes the sounds. The doors open and closed. And as you can see in there, we got the Decapod just sitting because it's one of the few locomotives that actually fits in this thing with the door shut. I'm thinking about unscrewing this door from the track and then just having it always open so I can pull stuff all the way to the edge. But that remains to be seen. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. I might just leave it alone, to be honest with you. I don't really want to get too far into new locomotives and rolling stock since 90% of this is new. But here we've got a couple semi-scale items. We've got a hotbox reefer and a unloading box car. So this one was a gift, and this one I purchased for myself. I'm going to see, I might be able to modify a scale boxcar shell to fit on this, which would be nice because I do love the feature. I think it's pretty cool. It adds some fun to the running of the trains. So that's something I'd like to do. And this is obviously semi-scale, but I'm not going to do anything about it. This is just for fun. It, I try to keep things a little scale, but obviously when you've got a building that's made out of this type of, tin material, which is very shiny next to scale proportion stuff, it does get a little messy, but this is mostly for fun. But I'd like to try to stay scale if I can, but fun is also a big thing. I want to have fun with this table. So we're actually thinking about putting one of those Lionel TMCC cranes over here in the yard somewhere, but we haven't gotten that far. Maybe we'll get to it eventually. Maybe we won't. It just kind of depends on how it plays out. But it would be pretty cool to have that here. And obviously, we're going to have separate power for the accessories to light up everything, including the MTH fire department and the MTH gas station. Those are both operating accessories. That one works. This one has a problem with the circuit board, but I did order, or I purchased off of a community member another firehouse with the circuit board intact. So I'm going to slap that in there and see if that does away with the problem that it's having. The truck won't pull out. It only pulls back in. Like if you move the arm out, it will always return, but it won't actually come out of the fire station. So I'm pretty sure it's something with the transistors on the board, to switch the polarity of the motor to pull it, to run the motor to pull it outward. I don't think that that's working. Or the circuit track that has to do with reading the switches in there that tell it it's all the way in or out. It might not be, sending a signal to the motor because the switch isn't activating properly through the circuit board. I don't know. That's way too, I could probably mess with that circuit board if I wanted to, but I really don't. So, another thing here worth mentioning, I guess, is the walls all painted blue. We never had this before. The walls were just kind of sheetrock that had holes in it and had wires hanging down and everything. It's a lot cleaner now, and it looks a lot better to film with. And I selected this sort of darker blue because it can look like a sky with the lights on. We're also going to change out the lights over here for warm LED lights so that this corner won't be as dark as it is now. But part of the reason why I wanted to do this dark color is so if I turn off all the lights and I want to film like a nighttime shot, it gets very dark over here. Instead of, if it was a bright baby blue, it would be noticeable that it's not night. You know what I mean? So, and there is still going to be stuff hanging on the walls, if you remember. Actually, I don't know if I ever showed it off there. I don't know if I'm going to put all the photos back up I had, but I might. So that's something else I got to work on. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, so I don't really know what else to say. But you know, just keep an eye out, and I'll keep pumping out videos every time there's a big update. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, put out a layout update just because I put down one piece of track or because I wired in these sidings. You know, I mean, that's not really, in my opinion, video worthy. It's not really an update. It's a tiny thing that's been done. So probably the next time you see this layout, these accessories will probably be wired in. There'll be another loop. There'll be gravel over here. I plan on putting gravel all in this yard area. So until that's done, it's just going to look like this. And I'll probably do a video showing off some of these accessories and these locomotives running, because the videos I put out before were kind of demos. I want to do actual running sessions. So hopefully, if you keep an eye out, I'll be getting to those very shortly. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little layout update. It might be a shock for any of you that have actually been following my layout since its inception. I think around 2015 or 2016 was when I did the first couple videos. So yeah, I hope this is a bit of a shock to see, you know, actual progress, especially progress of this magnitude after so long. But I am still into the trains. I'm still doing it. And hopefully you guys will stick around to see the next update, when maybe I'll get a little bit more technical and a little bit more in depth. It's just been a long time since I've done one of these talking videos, so bear with me. I'm a little off my game. But anyways, thanks for watching, and stick around because I will have more layout updates in the coming weeks. Thanks.